आपका समय हो गया। बोलिए माननीय सदस्य, प्लीज बोलिए।
अभी 10 मिनट मेरे नहीं हुए।
आप समय से ज्यादा बोल चुके हैं।
मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं, सैद्धांतिक रूप पे माननीय मोदी जी का 1 साल का कार्यकाल है, क्योंकि माननीय मोदी जी ने नियम बनाया है कि 75 साल की उम्र के बाद ना तो चुनाव लड़ना है, ना मंत्रिमंडल में रहना है।
माननीय सदस्य श्रीमती
मोदी
जी
अगले आपके माध्यम से आग्रह करता हूं, माननीय मोदी जी, आपको तीसरा कार्यकाल मिला है, कुछ देश का भला कर दीजिए, कुछ देश का भला कर दीजिए।
सर
धन्यवाद माननीय सदस्य, प्लीज।
Honorable Chairperson, sir, my respected colleagues, I stand here today on behalf of my party, the All India Trinamool Congress, to speak on the finance bill. Madam, I have to say I'm deeply pained at the very onset. I must point something out. When we talk on the governor, speak on the President's address, the Honorable Prime Minister leaves the chamber. Today, when we are speaking on the finance bill, the Honorable Finance Minister leaves the chamber. We members of the opposition are deeply pained by this. We hope that the government will take notice of our pain and be present in the House each time that we speak on relevant issues. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, had said, in any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing you can do is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is nothing. The Honorable Finance Minister has made a mockery of the people of India in this union budget by doing absolutely nothing. Whatever little changes are there are regressive and ill thought out. This is an illusory budget where the government knows fully well that the mandate of 2024, this coalition government, means that the people did not want a business as usual approach. The people wanted a course correction. What have you done? You've not listened to the mandate. Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi, you have done the exact opposite. You've kept the same cabinet, you've kept the same finance minister who's given the same shoddy budget. Who is this budget for? The middle class make up 31% of India. The poor make up between 60 and 65% of India. I will demonstrate how this budget systematically strangles the poor and the middle class. This is a kursi bajao budget, a save the chair budget for this government, and even that it doesn't do very well. Broadly, there are two types of taxes: direct taxes, indirect taxes. Direct taxes are known as progressive taxes. Why are they progressive? So income tax, property tax, investment tax on capital gains, these are done in a way that the richer you are, the more tax you pay. So they're kind of fairer. Sir, please. Sir,
you're a chat person. What is this?
Indirect taxes are regressive because everyone from the richest billionaire to the poorest laborer is paying the exact same tax. So GST, duties on petrol, duties on diesel are all indirect taxes. When we strive for a fair and equitable economy, we must have the balance of direct taxes and indirect taxes right. The US and the Europe broadly collect about 60% through direct taxes and 40% through indirect taxes. Some Scandinavian states with welfare models collect 70% through direct taxes, 30% from indirect taxes. In India, it is the exact opposite. 65% of tax collection comes from indirect taxes, where billionaires pay the same as the poorest laborers, and only 35% comes from direct taxes. Even within the direct tax bracket, for the first time in our country's history, salaried professionals and the middle class are sharing a greater tax burden than rich corporates. The middle class is contributing 55% of direct income taxes under this government, up from 38% under the UPA. The richest corporates in India today contribute only 45% of direct taxes. Not only is the middle class being taxed, but now with this budget, the savings of the middle class have also been taxed with removal of indexation and with a rise in the short-term capital gains. investors who've made more than 11% return. We've done the calculation, that's about the threshold rate. If you have made more than 11% returns, so if you've made higher returns, then this new tax regime with the removal of indexation has happened is good for you. Now, people like our parents, pensioners, salaried middle class, risk-averse people who invested in gold, in property, in debt mutual funds, the removal of indexation has harmed them disproportionately. So the middle class has lost out. Debt mutual fund holders will end up paying more than 40% more tax because indexation is being changed from 20% to 12% for investments made before April 1st, 2023. So this is effectively penalizing those who've made low profits. You've anyway made lower profits. People think real estate has made enormous profits. If you